This farm was established by a man named Jim Simpson back in 1972. And he started out with a little under 100 acres, and we've grown it to 900 acres. Where we're standing is where we harvested grass for TPC 4 months ago. The Celebration Bermuda is awesome. It's already grown back, and it's almost ready to harvest again. So it's unbelievable grass. Last September 2018, we heard about the project, and at the time, we were doing some small projects for Brandon at TPC, and he saw our sod quality, our soil content, and he liked what he saw. And so with the location of our farm, it made it where we could work together and grow the grass like he wanted it on his golf course.
You know, this is a big project, and we started planning our work with them like a year out. And you know, part of that was what our expectations were, how the turf was to be maintained and managed going into the harvest. And they were very amenable to everything that we had in our specifications, so that was great importance for the project. Yeah, I mean, so, you know, originally we went with TIF Sport Bermuda. That was the original turf that was put in the short grass areas out here. And at the time, in the early 2000s, that was one of the kind of leading grasses in the south, you know, in the warm season areas for short grass fairways and approaches. And you know, what we see with the Celebration is just a more aggressive growth habit. It's just a better color, and we think that the playing conditions moving forward, because it is a lot more dense grass, will be far better than anything else that's out there.
In late January, we found out that we had the contract for TPC. So we already had 30 acres of Celebration, but we needed to grow another 10 to 15 acres to make sure we had enough of Celebration for TPC.
We've done trials with Celebration compared to different turfgrass cultivars, and what we've seen, it outperforms anything that we've tested it against. You know, I think there's a turf for every body or every separate golf course, but you know, here in this climate, it does require some additional inputs, you know, as far as cultural practices and stuff to keep it the best that it can be. But I think, you know, widespread, it would be a pretty good decision, you know, for anybody that's down here managing sports turf.
Well, it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Also, we had to water, fertilize, spray, mow, you know, weekly, and we just stayed on it to get it ready. So also, we had to sprig 15 acres of Celebration to have us extra. The biggest thing was, in the beginning, worrying that we were going to have the Celebration grown in by the time the project started. Watering, as we were going through the project, it was like, is it too much water that we can't harvest the next morning, or is it not enough water? So it was a lot of worrying of the right amount of water. Had to worry about if the irrigation stopped in the middle of the night in the middle of the field, you know. So somebody stayed out here at night until the field got watered to make sure.
Every turf has a different habit of growth. Some are more upright, or some are more lateral. And you know, Celebration, it's just a very dense, it grows at a very rapid rate. The recovery is a lot better, you know, from divoting and things of that nature. That's why you're seeing it a lot in the sports arenas, you know, golf, football, because of the recovery.
This Celebration Bermuda is a great grass, and I would love to do more projects. I mean, I welcome it as a challenge. It's just, you know, it's an awesome grass.
You know, Simpson Sod is a good partner of ours. Like I said, we were doing some work with them prior to this project, and it just happened to work out to where we could do a very large-scale project with them. And you know, they handled all of our requests very quickly and very efficiently, and it's, you know, it's a good relationship to have, because we get to do what we love, which is kind of grow grass and hang out on a really beautiful piece of property.
You know, I'd like to recognize Robbie Leonard and Thomas Marks, that they were very instrumental in getting this job, that if it weren't for them, I don't think we would have got it. They did all the beginnings of the work, and they lined it up. They worked with Brandon to get everything set up. We wouldn't have been able to do it without them. Also, I'd like to thank Bobby Triplett and Paul Bedford for their hard work on the farm, and also Sod Solutions for their continued support for 20 years, and also for them letting us grow this beautiful celebration in Bermuda.